today I'm going to show you how to make this. It is a pussy hat. It is a distress flag upside down. Let's see inside. And I like that it can go either way, like that. So we're going to work on this. For this particular project, I am using a 5mm hook for this particular yarn. So I think you can see, yep, 5mm. And the yarn I'm using is Big Twist. It's Big Twist, it's acrylic, it has metallic fiber, so this particular one has some shimmer, which is really fun. And it says to use with a 5mm hook, so that's what we're doing. I have it in red, I have it in blue, and I also have it in white. And you can't see it necessarily on this video, but there are sparkles in here, and it's really makes the hat look really nice. We are also going to use a tapestry hook at the very end and a pair of scissors. So let's put those away. We are going to start with white and the 5mm hook. And the way I start, I just tie a knot, which there probably is a better way of doing this, but I really like that I know that it's not going to come undone. And if you have a better way of doing it, I would love to hear it. That would help me. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to yarn over and then grab that, and I twist a little to get through, and there you go. There's the first loop. So we're going, or first stitch, and this is called a slip stitch or and it is a chain. So we're going to do 40 of these chains. So over and turn and go through like that, over, go through like that. So right now, what are we at? We are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see that? They're like little hearts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we're now gonna get to 40. So I'm going to just chain. So we're gonna go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 39 and 40. Okay, so it will be about this long, and I know I'm still working with this camera to get it figured out. But anyway, I've done 40. Now, we're gonna turn and we're gonna do our first row, and we're gonna use single crochets. But to do that, first you have to do an extra chain. And that just helps everything stay even. So I did that extra chain. So there are 41 now. We're going to turn it over, and we're going to not do the first one. We're going to go into the second one. You can kind of see these little back loops. And this is a little different than what we're going to be doing the rest of the time. This is just to get started. So we're going to skip the first one. I'm going to go on the second one, and we're just going to work that there through, yarn over, pull through once, yarn over, pull through twice. Now that is a single crochet. All right, so we're going to do that again. Did I do yarn over? Did I do that wrong? I think I did it wrong. See, we're going to make a mistake. Let's take that out. I am so sorry. What we're going to do is we're going to go in through that loop like so, yarn over, pull through once, pull through twice. Okay, I keep doing that yarn over and that's not correct. Okay, so we're gonna go in through the loop, yarn over again and pull through. again. Go through that back little loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. One more time. We're going to go through that little back loop, and it's okay if it's a little goofy and you have to work it. Yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2. All right, I'm going to continue to go the rest of the way. I'm going to come back in 1 second, so work on that and then we will come back together. All right, I am back. I have done 38 single crochets, and I just wanted to show you this one. Let's see, you go into this back loop, and I kind of pull it through sometimes. You want to make sure you have all those fibers. Yarn over, through once, through twice. Now, this last part gets a little bit confusing because you have to look for that little nubby. The last one, you go through. I kind of use my finger to help sometimes. You got to get through that. Okay, great. And yarn over. Now, normally I would say yarn over and pull through 2, but we did yarn over and pull through 1. I'm going to just take it out again. See how easy it is to take out? I'm going to go through that loop again. Yeah, in this part, when I say we're doing this part, it's a little tricky. So don't get upset if it's you feel like it's hard to get through the loops. It will absolutely get easier. It's just that the first row is a little challenging. So we're gonna go over once and pull up, and we're gonna sit there for a second. I'm gonna get my red. Let's hold on a sec. All right, I've gotten my red ready. I'm still sitting at this position. I'm gonna pick up my red, and I need to tie it to this just so that it won't get loose. And I know that there's probably other ways of doing it. And again, I would love for someone to tell me. But for right now, I am going to just tie it on. Okay. I don't normally do this looking through a camera. So I tied it on, and then I like to double loop it. Or double knotted, I guess, is the right expression. Okay, so we now have tied that on, and I know we're in the middle of that first stitch, and that might be a little confusing, but it really helps to keep the colors working the right way. Because what's gonna happen is when we yarn over with the red and we go through the 2 loops, look, it finished that stitch, and now I have the red on there for the next stitch. I'm gonna yarn over, chain 1, and that is because we are going to turn over, and you need that so that we'll stay even. So what we're gonna do now is we're going, if you look at our little, I don't know, they look like hearts to me, but there is a bottom and a top, or the front loop and a back loop. What we're going to do is we're going to go into the back loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. Perfect. We're going to do the same, go into the next loop, yarn over, pull through, go through 2. Next one, yarn over, and pause. All right, so we are on our 3rd, but we're kind of halfway through that stitch. Now, what I'm gonna have you do is move the red yarn over like this, and you're gonna hold it. And then we're gonna take our white yarn, and we're gonna bring it up, and we're going to yarn over, and then pull through both loops. Now, the reason that we did that way is now we have, you can see 1, 2, 3 red loops, and we're starting the 4th. The 4th one is going to be white. So we are going to go through, where is it? Go through the back loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, oops, we're gonna go through, not that loop, we're gonna go through the back loop, yarn over, oh, I made a mistake. Well, so, and again, I'm gonna pretend that I did that on purpose so that I can show you. This first row actually is going to be 4. So let's go, so 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go through another one, pull up, wait, bring the red over, bring the white, and come through. Now, the reason that we have 4 on this particular one is it is going to end up being the top part, and we're going to end up, some of it's going to get lost, not lost, but we're shrunk. So I wanted to make this part longer, this one red band a little bit longer. But the rest of them are going to be 3 single crochets for each band. So we're going to go in that back loop. Did I do that correctly? And I'm always checking myself because, yep, in the back loop, yarn over, go over again, and 2 through 2. Yarn over. Okay, now we're at our third one. So we're going to take the white and we're going to find the longer red and we're going to bring that over. Now, I know this seems a little awkward. I promise it gets easier and second nature. So now we're going to go 1, 2, and we're going to start the third one, but we're going to bring the red over. We're going to find the long white one, go like this, and we're doing it on the, we're bringing it on this side. This is going to be the back side of our work, and so this part won't show in the hat. So now we're going to do another 3 of the white. Remember, you go in the back loop, yarn over, pull up 1, yarn over, pull up 2. That's our first white there. Yarn over, let's see, 2, and on the third, yarn over, and you wait. Bring the red over and pull through. So we're gonna keep doing that. Oops, I got a little, sometimes if you don't get all of the fibers in that particular strand, it can get a little wonky, so you just have to go back. All right, and that's our second one. And our third. Stop, remember, bring the yarn over and then pull through. Now, as you're doing this, the yarn is going to get tangled up because I keep alternating or bringing it over. Sometimes I do it a little, I will put it under, sometimes I put it over when I'm twisting the yarn. So here, 1, 2, and then the third one. Remember, we only go up 1. Now, I'm bringing the yarn over and then bringing this and pull through. Excellent. So how many red? So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of red and white. So we're going 1, 2, and on the third one, you bring it over, you grab the white, and you bring it. And you don't want to pull it super tight because it will make it will like gather it. So you just see how it's kind of just pulling it over like that. Okay. Oops, that one didn't grab all the fibers. And this is our third one, so we're gonna pause. We're gonna bring the yarn over, and there we go. All right, I want you to continue, and I'll be right back. All right, so as I've been going, you can see that it kind of gets twisted up like this, the end pieces. Sometimes what I will do is I will just take, I'll just untwirl it, because it can get kind of knotted up if you don't do that. So I just undo it every now and then. And one more, and see, now it's undone. Okay, so we're gonna keep on going, and okay. And yes, it feels awkward at first, and I promise it's going to get easier. Oh boy, we're down to our last 3 of this particular row. So we are going to, there we go, 1, 2. Now this one, we are going to do a full red. And the reason being is because we're gonna be turning and continuing with the red. So we have to do a chain 1, remember, that helps. And then we're gonna turn it over and look at that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And there are 13 stripes in our flag and in the regular American flag. So I have that chain 1. We're not going into that chain. We're going in the back loop of the first of that single crochet, and we're going to be using single crochet the whole time. So you're not going to do a lot of extra stitches, but we're going to go like that. Okay, now here it gets a little bit different. So before, when we were pulling it on the front, well, which was the back, to hide the yarn, now we have to do it the other way. So I am going to hold that, bring the back white up, pull through, and it's just gonna stay on the back side now. Oops. All right. 1, oops, 2, and this one we only do partially. We do the part. Now I'm going to grab the red, pull it over, and pull through. And if it gets a little gappy, you can just pull on the white a little, or the red to tighten it up. And all right, and then we're going to pull the white over, pull it through, and again, to adjust it, just pull a little bit on that. In, pull up. So you can see this is where, and it's gonna end up making our red and white bands of our flag. And again, pull that over. I am sorry if this video keeps going in and out of focus. I am new to doing this and videotaping it, and I'm still needing a lot of work to perfect it. Grab the white and pull through. Okay, so you can see that the bands of our flag are starting to get a little thicker. I want you to continue to the end, and I will come right back. I haven't gotten to the end yet, but I wanted to show you. See how my yarn is getting wound again. The other thing you can do is every now and then, you just unwind it, just go like this, and the strands will then not be tangled up again. All right, keep going. All right, I have done most of the stripes, but I'm starting the last one. Now this one is different, remember, than the others. The others are 3 single crochets each. This one on this end is 4. And at the very end, you'll see why. Not the very end of this, but at the very end of making the hat. So we're gonna go, let's see. Three. And this, all right, that's the other thing I need to tell you. Sometimes the very last one is a little hard to get in. You kind of have to wiggle it around. That's okay. So again, we're not going to switch colors yet. We're going to extra stitch and turn. Now this is what the back is looking like. This is what the front looks like. This is what the back looks like. We're going to continue. So what I would like you to do, again, you do not go into that extra stitch. That is for the turn. You go in. Why does it look like I have 5? Nope. There's, yes, for some reason I made a mistake. So I am going to pause and check it out. Not sure what I did, but I ended up taking that out again. It's very easy to take out. And I'm going to do it again. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Great. And we're going to chain 1, turn. Then we're going to go into there. All right. And you can see that sometimes I'm kind of like helping it with my hand to wiggle through that part. All right, now we want to make sure that our yarn is on this side because this is our back side. So I pull this around and I kind of grab it with my finger just to kind of hold it. Then I bring this up and around and through both loops. Now you got to be extra careful to look. You want to go in the back of that. Sometimes this piece can cover that and you don't want to miss that stitch. So you pull back, go in there. Okay, yarn, bring that over, bring that, and pull through. Good. Okay. And oops, I made another mistake, I think. Oh no, I didn't. There, so we're gonna bring the red over, pull the white back, over, pull through. Again, I make mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes. There's going to be times that you rip things out because it just didn't work, or you missed a stitch and you find out later. And that's okay. That's actually part of crocheting. It is, I have pulled apart a whole blanket before because it wasn't right. This is a little bit simpler and little, so it's not that big of a deal if you make a mistake and have to go back. All right, I want you to continue through and then I will be back. Here we are at the end of that row. And see, I have that one extra stitch for the turn. We're gonna turn, so the back looks like this and the front is starting to look like this. And this is going to be the hat. It's gonna go this way. All right, so what I would like you to do is just keep doing that stitch or these stitches for, let's do 12 more. The 12, and I was very confusing. I meant 12 rows. So here, let's see, this is one row, and then this is the second one, third, fourth. Each of these kind of bumps is 2 different rows, and that's because we go into the back loop, so it makes these ridges. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. I'm at 7 right now. I want you to just keep going, and in a little bit, I will tell you when to stop. Just keep doing this. I hope you're continuing on. So when I said continue the rows, let's see, I'm gonna hold this up, and you can see how this is going. All right, so what we're gonna wanna do is we wanna get to this point. So that's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Okay, 26 rows or 13 bumps, okay? So that's what I want you to do. So continue till you have 26 rows, or sometimes it's just easier to count it by going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And when you're done with that, we are gonna move on to the next stage. Thanks. All right, hopefully yours is starting to look like this. So if you look at this, if we're counting the ridges, we would have 1, not including this white part. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, and which really is 26, as I told you before. So, because each ridge is 2. Now, we have the bottom red, which is 3, a row of 3, and the top band, which is a row of 4. So this is going to be the top of your hat. Now what we're going to do is we are going to crochet, do the same pattern that we were exactly doing just now, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bands, because in the American flag there are 6 that keep going, and then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 where the blue part of the flag is with the stars. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna put this back in here, and we are gonna just get through that part. And hopefully you have become a pro at these, at alternating the red and the white. I know it gets a little goofy. Let's see. And I can't tell you how many times that I was crocheting and then I realized that I had the yarn on the wrong side, like ending on the front side, and so then I had to take it out and start, just take out to that part again and start over, which is not a big deal. Luckily it just pulls out pretty simply. Okay. All right, so we've done a red, a white, now I'm working, and then I did a red, and now I'm on a white. And then we're gonna go to a red. All right, then white. Okay, now let's check ourselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 bands. All right, and we're on the back side. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna attach a blue thread, a blue strand to this white strand. So hold on one sec. Now we're gonna grab our blue and we would like to tie it to this white string or yarn. So we're going to go around there, and I'm gonna put this down while I tie it because it's a little hard to do in the air while I'm balancing. So I'm tying it on there. There we go. Hold on, one more. I know this is a very exciting video. Okay, so it's tied on there. It's tied to the white piece. So we finished the 3, but we didn't finish the actual 3rd stitch, remember, because we have to leave one so that it can go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish that with the blue. So we're gonna go around and then we're gonna go through. All right, now, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go through, remember how I said there's the front and the back loops? There's a front, or that's the back loop, and then that's the front loop of this one little, it's a stitch. So we're gonna go in both of them. So that's, I know, a new thing here. So we're gonna go in, let's see. Okay, so you're gonna go under both of them. Can you see that? Let me see if I can separate them, but anyway, and then go around, pull up, and round. All right, so we're gonna go through both of them. And it's important to go through both of them with this particular stitch and what we're gonna be doing, because this is on the other side, we will be dealing with the stars. Now, we are going to just stitch this blue through both the front and the back loops. So here, I don't know if you can see it better. Yeah, there, front and back loops, around, single crochet, continuing to do a single crochet, but through both loops, all the way to the end. Let's see. All right. And as you can tell, sometimes I have to like push in really hard just to get it. And again, I'll do it really slowly. So I'm gonna go in, and there's both loops there, the front and the back. All right, that is the first row of our blue. And you're going to chain 1, because that's what we do at the end of each row, and we're turning around. Now, yes, you are going to have 3 strands that you're going to be paying attention to, and you're going to untangle them as you go. Now, there are 21 stitches in this section. All right, and I have come up with a plan that puts exactly 50 stars in here. So we're going to do 5, then 4, then 5. So let me show you how to do that. The first thing that we're gonna do is we're going to do 2 single crochets, and you're gonna go through both loops again. Okay, so that's a single crochet, and that's a single crochet. All right, now it gets interesting. We are going to take the white thread. So you're gonna pull over here, you're gonna find the white thread, pull it up. Sorry, okay. Pull it over. You're gonna carry it over here, and you don't want it tight. You want it kind of loose, but not crazy loose, just kind of there. I'm gonna hold it. Now, I am gonna go into the third crochet. Let me go, yeah, I got both loops. And then I'm gonna take the white, and the white is gonna go, I'm gonna pretend it's like my blue, but I'm gonna go around once and pull it up. So you can see that now. Then I'm gonna go back to my blue. So I just hold on to the white there. I go back to my blue and I pull through. And as we go, it is going to make our stars. Now we're gonna go through the next stitch and we're gonna do blue. We're gonna do 3 single crochets across. Now, the other thing that I'm gonna try to do while I'm doing this is I'm gonna go through, and then this back loop, you see how it kind of goes all the way across? I'm gonna catch it like that. And when I pull my blue up, that white is going to be kind of tacked down in the back. All right, let me show you what that looks like. Kind of goes over it and holds it. So I've just done 3. So I did 2 blue, then I did this weird kind of half stitch where, well, it wasn't a half stitch, it was a full stitch. I just used white for the first pull up and blue for the rest. So now we're gonna do it again. So we're gonna go into the next stitch. I gotta make sure I'm holding on to there. Okay, we're gonna go into the next one. All right, I'm gonna take the white, go around, pull it up. Then I'm gonna hold that with my finger on the back. So I'm just holding it back, go over with the blue and pull through. All right, now, as it might look a little weird right now and they might not show up very well at this section, but as we go along, they definitely will. Oh, you know what? I didn't do that right. I need to take that one out because I think I only did 2 stitches. Okay, yeah, I only did 2, so and we need to do 3. Again, you're going to make mistakes. I'm gonna make mistakes, obviously. I have done them. All right, so I'm gonna do a third of just the blue. All right, there we go. So we had 2, then 1 with part of the white, then 3 blue single crochets. Now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna pull up the white, 1 white, hold it in the back like that, go around with the blue and pull through. Great. You don't have to catch this long white thread in the back if you don't want to. You can leave it there, it's fine. I just kind of like it tucked out of the way. So now we're going to do 3. 1, 2. These are just all the blue. You know what? There is something goofy with that. Okay, 3. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to pull up with the white. So we go in, over with the white, pull it up. I gotta get my finger there. And then with the blue. Excellent. So now we're gonna do 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm gonna find my white, get it ready, go into the next one. I pull up 1 and then finish with the blue. And you can see how it's starting to make our stars. Now we do 3. All right, and now we're going to do another white one. This is the 5th white part of this blue section. All right, there we go. And then we're going to do another single crochet. And then this one, we are going to go in, pull up 1 of the blue. Now I need to go back to white. So I'm gonna grab the white and pull that up. And then we're going to continue our white and red, but again, going back to the back loop. See, the back loop. And then the red, let's see, go in there, whoops. So I want you to continue this row exactly the way we had been doing it previously. And then turn it around, and you're going to repeat the, well, I'll just show you, it'll be easier. Oops. There we go. And remember that this is the band of red that has 4. It is the only one. All right, now you probably want to look at your strands. They're probably all kind of goofy and so you might want to straighten them out. I'm going to pause. You can go ahead and do that. All straightened out. Did you do the extra chain? All right, now turn. And this is what our back is going to look like so far. So we are now going to repeat this part the same way. And then the blue part, we're just going to do, remember, going through both front and back loop. And you're just going to do single crochet all the way across the top and then chain 1 at the end. So I'm going to do that, you do that, and we'll meet right back. Back on, because I forgot to tell you something. So as you go in the stitch that has the white part, it's a little trickier to go into, and I tend to only go in the back loop on those. So all the others I do both, oops, but on that one it's a little tricky, and you have to really finagle it there. It's frustrating. It gets so much easier as you go. So here's 3 really easy ones. And then all of a sudden where the star is, we're going to have to push into that back part and then continue. I've made it to the other end. I chained 1. Now this is a good time to unscramble the yarn again. So as it's like tangled up, you want to just unscramble it. All right, so we've made it across that, and we chained 1 again, and then we're going to turn it. So you can see our 5 stars. Now this time, what we're going to do is we are going to crochet, again, both loops. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to do 4. And then, oops, on the 5th one, excuse me, we are going to pull up a white, and it's going to end up making it kind of in the center of those. I'm sorry, this video is so bad. Okay, so we're going to bring that white over because it kind of gets a little goofy. There. Again, not too tight, not too loose, and we're going to hold it there. I'm sorry. We're going to hold it there. All right, so then you're going to go through and you're gonna pull up, whoops. Okay, gonna go through both loops, pull up the white. Okay, now if it's too tight, I say loosen it a little. Good. I'm gonna put my finger on the white after I grab the blue. Sometimes you have to get your fingers settled again and figure out, okay, there. And then I'm gonna put the blue over and go through both. And then sometimes I tug on the white just to kind of get it so it's not crazy all over the place. Okay, go through both, and we're gonna do 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we're gonna grab our white and we're going to pull up. We're going to pull up 1, go around and pull it through. So there you can see we have it's starting the pattern of the stars. And the way that this works out, if you do 3 in between each star right here, we'll get 4 on this row. Okay, now I'm gonna grab a white. Again, I'm really sorry I'm all over. It's probably making you nauseous watching this video because it seems like I'm not used to holding my arms up while I crochet. They're usually like down, but the way the camera was set up, I don't know. I have much to learn. So anyway, we're gonna go 3. And if you're starting to see how the pattern is working out, that's great. Okay, now, if you can tell, and again, sometimes you can't see the white when it's at this stage, but there are 4 whites. So we're going to do blue the rest of the way. Well, not the whole way, but the whole rest of the blue part. Okay. And then we're gonna stop, pull up with white. There. I want you to continue the way that you know how to do it all the way to the end. Again, turn and repeat, all right? Made it to the end of that row, and I chained an extra like we always do, and we turn it around, and let's look at what the back looks like now. So you can see where I sometimes have been catching that long white strand. It just makes it so it doesn't dangle and take up a lot of space. So now we're going to repeat. We're going to do this whole section, and then we're going to do just plain single crochet blues all the way across in both loops, except for the ones that have the white, because that's a little trickier, and you just go in the back loop for that. All right. All right. So it should probably look like this by now. So you can see the 5 stars and then the 4. And now we're going to repeat the 5 stars. So that means we go in 2, do a star, do 3, do a star, do 3, do a star. So we're going to do that. I added some light to hopefully make you be able to see a little bit better. All right. One, 2, oops. And then we're gonna grab, yep, that's right. We gotta get that white one. It's always a trick the first time you do that star. Okay, so I'm gonna go through. Sorry, I keep moving. I'm trying to watch myself not through the camera because it's harder to do it that way. So, forgive me while I'm learning. All right, so see how that lines up? Great. And then 1, oops, 2, 3. So you can see on the back how that's looking. So I'm just tacking that white one down. Now pull up and you're just gonna go across and do that. So we're doing this, then 3 blue, then another pull up the white, 3 blue, pull up the white, 3 blue. So there'll be 5 stars going across. And then you continue across here, repeat the same pattern. You just keep going until you have 50 stars. But I'll check in with you in a little bit. Right, so I'm about to start my next row of stars, which will be 4 stars because the last row of stars was 5. So I'm going to be mimicking this row here. So I'm going to go in 4 with blue, just 4 stitches in with blue, single crochet. At this point, all right, so this is actually how the hat is coming to make shape, that it's an upside down flag, and it's starting to look pretty good. So keep on going and we'll see you in a little bit. The thing to remember is when you're doing a row of 5 stars, you do 2 blue and then you pull up the white. When you're doing a row of 4 stars, you go in 4 blue and then the white. All right, so 2 blue and then a white, and then the top one is 4 blue and then the white, and then it's always 3 in between. All right. All right, when you get to this point, you count 50 stars. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of 5, which is 30. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of 4. And so that is 20. So that gives you 50. So I finished, I got to here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go do the back row exactly the way we've been doing it. So you're gonna follow this, and then you're gonna do the row of blue. And then you're gonna stop, and I'll be back. Okay, so now I've made it to the other end. Let's see, it should look, the stars and stripes should look like that. Made it to the other end, and I realized I need to take out that last chain and that last stitch because I gotta show you something. So we're going to, pull up 1. Now, because we are going to be repeating our flag pattern, actually I lied, because we will be doing that. First, we're going to do white. And we're gonna do white, 3 rows of white. All right, so right now, to get this, I'm gonna pull this string this way because I need it to be on the back side. So hold the blue, then I'm gonna take the white, I'm gonna bring it over here, and I'm gonna pull up 1. There we go. And then I'm gonna do a chain. Great. And I'm gonna turn it. There we go. So we have our chain 1, and then we have the rest. And so what we're gonna do is we're not gonna go into the chain, we're going to the first blue. There we go. And we're going to single crochet in the back loop of the entire thing. All right, so we're just gonna back loop, single crochet, and we're going to do white all the way across. Excuse my dogs, they're playing. Let's see. So we're gonna go in, all right, that's that one. So now we go in the next one. Now, if you want to, let's see, here we go. On the back, you can see because I moved this over, you can loop it in if you want or not, it doesn't matter, but I'm gonna do that. So when I go through my next one, I just go under that. When I pull the thing, I go through it. So it just kind of goes over it. It's just kind of tacking it down. So we are going to just go all the way across. And if that doesn't work, you can just go, you don't have to tack it down. You can go through the loop and just do it this way and not deal with that back loop, that back white strand if you don't want to. But it's not a big deal if you go through that and then just go under that before you get the loop. There you go. All right, so I want you to go all the way to the end, and then I will meet back with you. All right, this is what it looks like with the first row of white done, going in the back loop. So then we're going to turn it over, and we're going to do another row. Go for it. All right, I have just finished the second row. So this is what it looks like on the front, and this is what it looks on the back. And we're now going to go, and I'm gonna put this back in here. We're gonna turn it, and you saw I had my extra chain stitch. Turn it, and now we are gonna go across for the third row. And I want you to stop just before you do the last stitch in this row, and then I will come back and help. All right, now this is what it looks like with the third row. That's the back, and this is the front. And I stopped just shy of the last stitch. But here I'm gonna go, and this is where it gets a little tricky right there. Okay, pull that up, and I pull up one. Now, because we're gonna be going back to doing the bands of red and white, I want to find that red that's on the back that is still hanging on from the last time here, right there. I'm gonna pull that, and I am gonna pull up that red because that is going to be the start of the next row. So, and then we're gonna chain one, and we're gonna turn, and then we're gonna start our rows again of red and white. So we don't go into the chain one, we go into that first white one. And because this band is going to be at the top, remember we did 4 crochets. So we're going to do 4 single crochets. Now I'm on, that's the third one. We're gonna do the first part of the fourth one, bring the red over, and bring up the white to finish it off. And now you have 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and now we're gonna do 3 of the white. And on that last third one, we're going to bring the red over to finish it. And now we're going to do 3. 1, 2. Start the third one and then bring the white over to finish it. So you can see 3, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Then we're going to go do the white again. 1, 2, and then on the third one, I'm gonna bring the red over. And then we're gonna do 3 of the red. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're gonna, okay, so here we are. Now we're gonna do 3 white. Well, as in everything else, we're gonna do, start 3, and then we're gonna bring that down, and we're going to take our, now I know I put this on this side, but anyway, I'm gonna bring this over because, and we want it to stretch the length of it, not pull, all right? So we're gonna bring that over and pull it through so that we have we can start that. The blue, because we have done the front side of our hat or the back, and now we're going to start the back part or the other side of it. So we need to redo or do another whole blue section. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna go across with the blue. Oops. Except, see, if I pull too tight, it pulls that thing too tight. So you wanna make sure it's not too tight. And I am gonna get, okay, so now we should do back loop, and it should be 27 blue stitches across. You're just gonna do that all the way across. This is how the back should look now. We've done 27 across. I did an extra chain. We're gonna turn it over. Aha, look at that. And now we are gonna repeat what we did here. We're gonna do exactly the same thing. So I'm gonna go in 2, and then I'm gonna pull up a white, then go 3, then pull up a white. And if so, and I want to go in both. I'm gonna go through both loops. So see that? Both loops. And then, so I'm gonna go 1, 2. All right, now, gotta locate our white, bring it over. And I'm gonna go in the third one. I'm gonna bring some white over and pull it up. Great. And then blue. All right, and if you need to tug on that white to bring it down, that's great. So now we're gonna do 3 of the blue. 1, 2, 3. I am looping in this extra band here. All right, so I've done 3. If I can find my white, we will be good. I'm sorry, this video is really challenging. I hope to get better at this. All right, so now I'm going to go in and pull up a white. 1, that's a star. Okay. All right, and then I'm gonna take a blue and pull it through, and then I'm just gonna pull on that white to get it down, all right? And then let's go through 3 more. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do the pull up the white. Excellent. And then we should be, let's look at the back there, okay? Now 1 more star. All right, now we're gonna start our, oh my goodness, am I like really, I am so sorry if you've been watching this video and having a hard time. It is my first time doing a video. All right, so now we're gonna end by pulling through the white, because we're gonna then start with the 3. And what I would like you to do is just keep going. And you're basically going to repeat exactly what we did here. Just redo it. Just keep going. So I ended up taking that out because I didn't want to mess this up. And I'm gonna make sure I'm going in the first blue back loop. And again, it can be a little tricky sometimes when trying to get in there. Am I going through the, yeah, I'm going through the right way. All right, as you can tell, all right, there. So we're gonna do 1, 2, now 3, remember we start, then we gotta bring over the white. So we're gonna have a lot in the back over here, which is, and we're gonna pull up the white. And now we're gonna do 3 of the white. 1, 2, all right, now we're going for the third one. We go through part of it, and then, because we're switching colors again, we're gonna pull up that red and finish with the red. Excellent. Now, this last couple bunches, I have only been going in through the loop and I have not been connecting these, but I'm gonna go through that. I'm gonna put the red over and pull through. The reason I'm doing that is I'm gonna tack it down in the back so that this part isn't loose. So I have 1, 2, I'm gonna go up, and we are partway through 3, finished with white. All right, I want you to continue that. You're gonna go all the way to the end. Remember, the end, this end part has 4. The rest are 3. And we should end up with 13 stripes all the way across. All right, I have made it across there with 1 row. Now, we're going to just keep going back and forth, just like we did on the bottom part. And you're gonna wanna go until you have exactly the same number of rows that you do on the bottom. You want that on the top. The other way to put that, and remember I said the bumps, you can count as 2. So you wanna make sure you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So when you get to 13, I will meet you back here. All right, I'm back a little sooner than I first thought, but I wanted to tell you that we are not gonna be using this blue anymore. So what you can do is I would leave a tail and cut. And for right now, you don't need to do anything with this, and I will show you what to do with it at the end. Welcome back. And by now, you probably have completed this. I'm gonna hold it a little bit further back so you can see. I don't really know how far I have to go because I can't see myself, but anyway, it should look like that. And we have done 26 rows, or if you just count like the ridges, there should be 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And going all the way back, or 26. So what we're gonna do now is I need to get the next row to be white. So we're going to, let's see, finish this row off by pull up 1. Now remember, when we switch colors, we finish that actual stitch with the next color. What that does is it finishes those, there are 4, with the red, but then we start with the white for the next row. Otherwise, we would start, it would be a red loop that would get in the way when we need to go white. Okay, so now we are going to go all the way across with white. So you can see I'm starting to go across with the white. At this point, you don't need the red anymore. So what we can do is you want to leave a little bit of a tail because we're going to weave it in. Cut. And then you can just move the red away from you so it's just not in the way while we do this. And How are we doing on light? There we go. I don't know if I need a little bit more. There. All right. Go in. And we're still doing the back loop, which is what gives us those ridges. If we went through both, that makes it a little flatter. And the way, just like the blue part is a little bit flatter, you can see these have some ridges. But this part we want to only be in the back loop. So that's what we're doing. All right, I'll see you when you get to the other side. All right, we've made it one row of white all the way across, and I chained one extra so that I can turn. And then we're going to go across again, back loop, and I'll meet you back here. All right, it should look like this. We've done those. So the back looks like this, the front looks like this. And the next thing we're going to do is we are going to put the negative sides together. All right, so you have the front side. And so normally when you wear the hat, it will be like this, but to secure it and tie it together, we are going to match up it backwards or inside out. Then we are going to slip stitch through the two ends. First, I'm going to make a chain before I start. Okay, I'm going to match it inside out. Okay, great. Now, if you followed the instructions of how we did it, how we started, we did our first chain, and then remember we did that goofy thing where I turned the chain over and we did that back middle loop catching? Well, because we did that, it gave an end that looks very much like our chain. And that's gonna make it a lot easier when we're trying to secure this together. So I did a chain. I am gonna go through both loops on the first stitch, both loops on the first stitch. So you can see that front and back. And then I am gonna find on the other one, on the back piece, I'm gonna go through both loops of that first stitch. All right, then I'm gonna grab my white, whoops, and this is going to be a slip stitch. So what we're gonna do is you put the yarn over and pull through everything, all right? And that's it. So then we're gonna go through the next one, and then we're gonna find the next stitch, which I believe is this one, and we're going to pull through all of that and then our loop. So again, okay, I'm watching. Pull through both. Great. And sometimes it gets caught and I have to like do it a few times. And like, so right now it's getting caught. So I have to wiggle it a little. Like this one's getting caught on something. I'm not sure what. Okay, then we'll go through that and then that. But it's basically, you go through, this is a slip stitch. Go through and you just over once and then pull through everything. And again, if it gets a little tricky, you just gotta keep working it. So what I want you to do is do that all the way to the end, and it should match up perfectly because there should be the same number of stitches on both sides. So why don't you finish that up and I'll meet you back. All right, I've made it to the other end and it looks like this. This is the inside part, and on the outside, it's gonna look like that, which is really good. So we did that. That is excellent. At this point, we are going to cut the white, but we're gonna leave a tail. Okay. There we go. The next thing that we need to do, actually, I'm gonna tie that off. So I'm gonna pull the yarn through once, and then I'm gonna actually pull it through a second time. There we go. And then just pull it so that it knots. All right, excellent. And the next thing that we're gonna do is we're going to weave in that. So hold on, and I'm gonna get something. I'll be right back. So I've now gotten out this. You don't have to use this. You can use a hook. It's just a little bit easier with something like this. So I'm gonna take my yarn, put it through. There we go. And then I just wanna weave it through and kind of just tie it all up so that it gets out of the way and it's not gonna be hanging or dangling in the hat. Sometimes this is trickier than other times, so you have to do a little finding the right place to put it. But usually if you can pull it within a different stitch, a part of the loop, it works just great. Go. So I'm just gonna tie this, just kind of weave it in so it just kind of disappears. So when the hat is inside out, I mean not inside out, when it's right, the right side is showing. This is just gonna be the inside. You're not gonna see it anyway. I mean, you could easily have the extra thread hanging. It's not gonna affect the hat, but this just finishes it off a little. And I just kind of go in and out and this part really doesn't need to be perfect. And when you get down, there'll come a point where you get down to a part where the thread just isn't very long, and you can either cut it at that point or tie it to a different thread. So let me just get it. There we go. And at this stage, it tends to keep coming out of the eye hole just because it's not very long anymore. Let's see here. And then I kind of weave back on itself just so that it has less chance of unraveling. Not that I think it will, but oops. And if you don't know, or if it hasn't been painfully obvious, this is my first video and I have a lot to learn, and I'm still trying to, I have the camera, which is my phone, on a tripod. I don't have the perfect angle and I'm working on lighting, so forgive me. I give you a lot of credit with trying to stay with me, and I promise to improve. There. Sometimes you get to the point where I actually don't keep it in. I put it in each single time I go in because it gets a little bit hard to, it's just not long enough. But I want to weave it in there. Now this one, we've gone back and forth quite a bit, so I'm feeling pretty good about it. So I think at this point, I am going to just cut it off, and we're gonna call that good. So that part is already done. We have a couple other strands to weave in. I wanted to show you this blue one, how I take care of that. So I put it through the eye hole. What I've been doing with this one, it's really basic. I just go through, I go like this, just so that it's going to be tucked in the back and not dangling anywhere. So I just weave through these back white pieces like so. Actually, that one is not all the way through. Okay, and then I pull it like so, and then I'm gonna go back. And that's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna weave it in and out. All right, so with the last pieces, you're gonna wanna weave that in and out, and this one. So why don't you do that, and then we'll make it back and I'll show you what to do next. Now I have this red thread that I'm going to just basically, I'm gonna weave it through these extra, just to get it out of the way. It doesn't need to be like the white one that we first did. It really can just go between these pieces, just as so. See? Like you can see it there, but again, it's gonna be inside out, so it really doesn't matter. So I tend to just weave it kind of through like that. So just keep doing that. All right, that particular thread, you can kind of see it just goes along here. Like it's not really noticeable. And again, it's like inside the hat, so it's just not that the thread is hanging off. So I'm gonna continue and tuck in this thread and tuck in this one. And then I'll show you the last thing that we need to do. All right, so this is our inside out hat. It should look like that. This is the top, and we need to sew it together basically. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some red. I wanna make sure that I line up my edges perfectly because you want it to be perfect. So I'm gonna attach a red strand so that I then can crochet across the top through both sides. Let me hold on one second. I will be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna take some red and I'm gonna go through this corner. And you know, this is not an exact science. You're gonna just push through. Oops. Okay, there. And then I like to tie it off. And again, you're doing this on when it's inside out. Great. Now, we are gonna go in that same spot there. I'm gonna pull up the longer red. I'm gonna go over, and I'm just gonna do a single crochet, okay? And then I am just gonna work my way through both pieces. So I'm gonna, and it's not an exact science. You want it to be sort of even, but you just wanna make sure you're going through both sides. So this side, and then I'm gonna go through this side to bring it together. You're gonna pull up one loop, go over, pull up two loops. You're gonna go through both, pull up one loop, go through two loops. And see, go through one side, then the other. And you're gonna do that all the way across the top. Again, there's no perfect place to go in, so I just try to keep it even. Sometimes you have to like wiggle it in. There we go. Round. Good job. Stray dog hair. All right. All right. Keep going across and I will meet you at the end. All right, if you've made it to the end, those two pieces should now be together. And we're going to cut there. And I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm just going to pull this through it a couple times and then tie it. Just should make a knot like that. All right, great. Now I am going to take this and weave it through the way we did with the other lost strands. I'm going to do that and I will meet you back. All right, so now this is inside out version. Let's turn it the right side. Oh boy, this is exciting. All right, you did it. You made a distress inverted flag hat. That's it. And then I will try to take a picture of me wearing it. So this is it. And I kind of like that on this side, the lower part of the stars and stripes are on this side, and on this side, it's on the other side. So it could be whatever people want when they're wearing it. Okay, let me take. Hi, so now hopefully your hat looks like mine. And you can see the inverted. This is a great hat to wear at a rally. It is a great protest hat. It's just a great hat to be visible and say, hey, we're in distress. Something's going on that isn't right. So start making them and giving them away. Thank you. Bye. I wanted to let you know that some of the things that I learned on how to make this hat, or I used in order to make this hat, I learned from the Facebook page, One Stitch, One Voice. It was a Facebook group that started to make patriotic pussy hats for the Women's March. And from the things that I learned, like how to do these ribs and how to do the stars and stripes, I then converted it and made a pattern for this distress inverted flag. And go look for that Facebook group. It's a great group of people doing great things. And there's a lot of different ideas on there on different types of patriotic hats to make. So anyway, thank you. And please let me know how yours come out. Thanks.